All right. Sorry about that little break that I had. I lost my recording equipment, we'll just say. But I'm back and we're going to get right back into it and we're going to be pumping out a lot of content and a lot of videos. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get right back into this with Frank Turek. This video is titled, "This is Why the Church Allowed Same-Sex Marriage." And before he gets into his opinion, I'm going to give mine. The churches have started to allow same-sex marriage because they realize that being a bigot isn't cool. And in order to stay in line with contemporary morality, they kind of had to, because people started realizing, like, hey, what's up with all the all the bigotry that you guys got going on there? And they're like, what? No, we're totally cool with all that. Come on in, give us your money. But let's see what Frank Turek's opinion on this is.
Same-sex marriage? It's not because of the LGBT community. You know why we have it? Because Christians bought into the follow your heart view of marriage.
He says with such contempt. What the? Yeah, follow your heart. That's yeah. Yeah, do that. That's fine. Look at he's angry about this. You should never follow your heart. You should find a woman who's going to bear you children. All right, let's keep going.
That marriage was all about feelings. And once the feelings are gone, you have the right to move on to somebody else.
Whoa! What?
That marriage was all about feelings. And once the feelings are gone, you have the right to move on to somebody else.
Okay. Okay, so that's three separate, completely the three things he just mentioned are not related in any way. Follow your heart. Marriage is based on feelings. And once your feelings are over, you can just move on to somebody else. Generally speaking, of course, there are always exceptions to everything. But if you follow your heart, which is just colloquial for, you love somebody. The heart doesn't really do this, but you know what it means. So generally, if you fall in love with somebody, you should marry them. You shouldn't marry them in the first 10 minutes or the first week or first year. It's different for everybody, but I think when you know. I don't think there's a whole lot of people out there who are just marrying and then, oh, well, the feelings are gone, so just move on to somebody else. But at the same time, what's wrong with that too? What, are you supposed to just stay in the marriage if the feelings are gone? Like, everything he's saying is just the opposite of how he's saying these are all bad things. But no, those are good things. If you love somebody, marry them. Sure, if you want to, or don't get married. What is marriage anyway? It's all kind of silly. But if you feel that you need to get married to somebody, marry them. And if it doesn't work out, for the love of God, don't stay in that marriage just for the sake of being marriage. Like, if it's not there, then yeah, amicably split or what. All right, let's keep going.
That's not love. You don't need a vow if your feelings are always good. Right? When you get to the altar for your wedding, you're not vowing feelings. You can't vow to feel a certain way for the next 50 years. It'd be like saying, I'm never going to feel
I suppose that's true.
tired or hungry again. You can't vow feelings. All you can vow is actions. And love is seeking what's best for the other person. And that's something you can control. But you can't control feelings. Yet what we did is we bought into the model that marriage was all about feelings. And once the feelings went away, you had a right to go to somebody else, somebody who captured your heart.
Of course you have the right to go to somebody else or nobody else. Are you just supposed to stay in a loveless marriage? Like, just no matter what, and you're married. To answer that question from Frank Turek's point of view is yes. Yes, you're married. You stick it out. You're miserable. Well, tough. Don't get a divorce. But I'm sure Frank's probably been divorced himself. Maybe not. Let's keep going.
Well, if two opposite-sex people can do that, why can't two same-sex people do that?
Well, that's a good question, Frank.
If it's all about feelings, if it has nothing to do with children.
Okay. Oh my God, Frank Turek. Oh, geez. He says He says so much and so little. He just with one sentence, every sentence that this man utters, you can pick apart for 45 minutes. It's hard to go over everything he has to say. Uh, okay, so first off, if you're in a same-sex marriage, you can still have children, especially if the same sex is female. But you can adopt. You can. I mean, there's tons of ways that you can have a child. What if you adopt a child? It's just not your children. Frank Turek's point of view on marriage is. I mean, I called it at the very beginning of this video. Get married and bear my children. Jesus. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
You see, that's the real problem with same-sex marriage, is it makes marriage genderless, which means children have nothing to do with marriage, and if children have...
That is so demonstrably false, Frank, because even if you have a male and female marriage, that doesn't mean that you can have kids. There's plenty of females that can't have children. There's plenty of males who can't give children. You know what I mean? So they're just not supposed to get married?
Nothing to do with marriage. Who takes care of the kids? In fact, I would submit to you that probably more than half of you in this room right now have been scarred by divorce. Scarred. Because our culture buys into marriage is all about feeling.
Is he just moving to the next point? That was fast.
And if your parents decide they don't have feelings for one another, then...
If you don't have feelings for one another, then yes, do that. Do not stay in a marriage that you are not happy in. I mean, what? Why? Okay.
C'est la vie. Now, some of you, they may have appropriate or justifiable divorces, but most of the divorces that occur, even in the church, not justifiable.
All divorce is justifiable. Give me one example of an unjustifiable divorce. I would like to know. Leave it in the comments.
And who gets hurt? The kids get hurt. My dad just died last year.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, Frank. I'm sure that's terrible. No joke. I mean that sincerely. But you know what scars children? When when a couple doesn't like each other very much and they stay married. That does not benefit the children. It just doesn't. If you're in a loveless marriage and you're both miserable, the kids are going to pick up on that. Oh, Frank.
He was 84. If he divorced my mom at 83, I'd be scarred.
Wouldn't you be? I mean, why would you be scarred? If he divorced her or she divorced him, there had to be a reason for it. You're not just going to get a divorce for funsies. That's a lot to go through. So if Frank Turek's father came to him and said, listen, I'm miserable. I'm on my way out. I just don't love her anymore. I'm going to set her free and I'm going to free myself and I'm going to spend my last whatever months just finally happy. He'd be like, no, father. You must stay married to her and live your last moments of life miserably as you probably have been for who knows how long. All right, well, that was it, I guess. That was a short one. I guess bottom line is if you're in a loveless marriage, then consider exiting that marriage because you deserve happiness, and so does whoever you may or may not be divorcing. Don't stay in a loveless marriage just because... I mean, because God. I mean, that's really the only reason one would stay in a loveless marriage is because you would feel guilty about getting a divorce. And if you're a same-sex couple, then yeah, get married or don't. Your marriage should be based on feelings. And I don't mean it should be solely based on... He tries to downplay feelings, but I would assume what he really means is love. And if you love somebody and you're willing to commit to them and you decide you want to get married for whatever reason, then do that. And if at some point in time the love is just no longer there, then yeah, divorce them. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Just don't stay in a loveless marriage. I don't, regardless if you're same sex couple or not. All right, let's end it there.